The British pound is up significantly today ahead of FOMC on lower than forecast CPI numbers, but is this move going to hold, or are we going to see this reverse during and after FOMC? That's the question that we're going to answer in today's video. Now, before we get into this, if you guys want my help with your trading for a limited time, when you sign up to Prime XBT and deposit $500 or more, you are going to get lifetime access to the trading group and also the course. So click on the link at the top of this video and sign up with Prime XBT. There's no application required. Deposit $500 or more, and you're going to get lifetime access to both of those things. Plus, you're also going to get a 20% deposit bonus. So see the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, scroll down from this video and you will see the link right there. Okay, so let's take a look here at the pound. We do have FOMC coming up here within the next couple of hours. And obviously, we're seeing the market rally significantly today on lower than forecast CPI numbers out of the US. So the idea here, the thinking here from the markets is that if CPI is cooling, okay, that inflation data out of the US, then there's a higher chance that the Fed is going to cut this year, both more frequently and also potentially sooner, okay? Now, what's going to matter though is today's FOMC and the signaling that we hear from Chair Powell, because we all know that FOMC can change things drastically. So I think this is going to be really interesting to see if the market can hold on to this move here, or if we get the pound closing back below this area around 1.2780 that we've talked about. So if we look here at the weekly, you can see where this is the trend line off of those 2021 highs. Okay, so we've talked about this at length, and we did get the market selling off from here last week. Okay, now I have a short position on. I still have a short position on because my stop loss for this, okay, I was entering last week in this area. This is a swing trade, and I have my stop loss, well up here, right? So I'm still in this trade right now. I might get stopped out, and that's okay. It is a starter position. So if I get stopped out, that's perfectly fine. I wasn't adding to this position because we never saw the pound close below this area down here. So the requirement for me to add to this short was a sustained break down here in this area following FOMC. Clearly, the market is going the other way. So I could be wrong on this. I could be completely wrong on this idea here for the pound, and that does happen, right? I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Now, if we look at the DXY, okay, we can see where the market so far is trading back below that 2024 channel. So this is obviously not what you want to see if you are a dollar bull. Okay, but again, we have to wait for this market to close the day, because everything that happens before FOMC, we all know, if you've been around for a while, you all know how significantly things can change following FOMC, following those remarks from Powell. Now, that doesn't mean that this will reverse. Okay, we could see it close down here. We could see it even continue to sell off following today's press conference. So keep that in mind. There are no guarantees here. But my point is that everything you're seeing here before FOMC, you should take with a grain of salt, because again, we know how significantly this can change. Okay, so let's talk through bullish and bearish scenarios here for the pound, and then we'll circle back to the DXY. Okay, so if today closes above this area right through here, right around 1.278, and ideally closing above these recent highs, if it closes up here in this area, then that would be bullish for the pound back here toward this high, and potentially even levels like this up here around 1.3. Okay, so that would be the bearish scenario to close above this area right down here. All right, now if we were to get the pound closing the day back below here, okay, so if it closes back below that 2021 trend line and also back below these highs, then it would keep this market bearish back here toward levels like 1.2685. Okay, so as unlikely as it may seem, to see the market close back down here in this area and the DXY back above that channel support, again, FOMC can change everything very quickly. So keep that in mind. Now, this is not financial advice, but I don't advise trading ahead of FOMC or even during FOMC. In my opinion, the safest play here is to wait for today's press conference, wait to see if the pound does close above these highs back here, also that 2021 trend line, so closing up here in this area, here or above, or we get the close back down here. Wait for one of these two things and then start to look for opportunities. Because if you are trading before that, there's a good chance that you're going to get chopped up. Okay, now looking at the DXY, okay, we obviously have the market, trading back below that 2024 channel support, okay, or what should have been support following last week's reclaim. Now, what's really confusing about this is if you look at the weekly chart here, what you can see is that we had last week putting in a relatively bullish candle, okay? And furthermore, you can see where this area right down here has served as a pivot for the DXY for quite some time. Okay, so with last week's move down here into this area and then close back above this candle right here, this is very confusing because we now have a very bullish looking weekly candle and also now this reversal. However, the one thing I will say is this right here could just be a sweep into that lower wick from last week. And this is why I'm saying that following today's FOMC, this is really going to tell us where these markets are likely to go over the coming days. Because if the DXY were to close back up here above this channel support, then it would keep this level intact as support. It would also keep this fake out right here alive, okay? So we'll have to wait and see where the DXY closes today. But if you want to get specific here, the level in question is going to be right around 104.75. Call it 104.8 just to be safe. Obviously, a close above 105 would be even better. But given where the market's trading, that looks rather unlikely right now. But anything can happen with FOMC coming up. Now, alternatively, if the DXY were to close back below here, okay, and especially below levels like this here, right around 104.45, then this area would flip back to resistance and we could see this market start to unravel. Okay, so very, very indecisive markets right now. You can tell that from the recent price action here. So like I said, it's not financial advice, but just be really careful out there. And I don't advise trading ahead of FOMC or even during FOMC just because of the intense volatility that we are likely to see. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications. Don't forget to sign up with Prime XBT, deposit $500 or more for lifetime access to our trading group and also the course, plus get a 20% deposit bonus. See the link in the description, or if you're on the website, scroll down from this video and you'll see the link to Prime XBT right there. Trade well, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.